The film opens with two visibly frustrated individuals carrying baseball bats as they stroll through the school hallways. They attempt to talk to a student in search of Park Young-ho, but he claims he doesn't know his whereabouts. Leaving in anger, they vow that Young-ho will be in trouble when they find him. After their departure, the focus shifts to a group of 4 people walking the streets, also armed and in uniform, seemingly pleased with their recent actions. We are finally introduced to Young-ho, his mother and sister eating and talking about how he is now the leader of the family since his father died. On his way to school, he saw one student being bullied and being harassed for his money. He just looked at them and left the scene, probably to avoid trouble. Scene shifted at the school gate. Students are entering the school for their classes. Inside the classroom, we observe Young-ho seated next to the victim of earlier bullying. As the students are doing their own thing, the same group from earlier that bullies the kid comes shouting inside their classroom, asking who reported to the violence committee. They left after warning everyone not to mess with them. Jinsu, the bullied kid, now engaged Young-ho in a conversation, warning him to be careful around them. Here he learned that the name of the leader of the group is Yang Gide. After school, Young-ho entered a boxing gym. He looked for people, but it seemed that the gym was empty at first until a man came out. He told the man that he wants to learn boxing. After a little banter, they agreed that they would start training on that day as well. They started with jumping ropes. Another trainee came in and proceeded on shadowboxing. At night, we see Young-ho studying and calling his sister to come home. His sister wouldn't give him a proper response, so he went and looked for her. Scene shifted with the bully group and their friends playing around, smoking, drinking, and being goofy. Young-ho came to them as he was asked. Gite and Young-ho recognized each other now, and they talked and drank together with the group just for a bit and left right away. Scene shifts to a bus stop, and we see Young-ho's sister now with a man. Young-ho came, and when he did, Changmi shoved the man away and walked away herself. Back at the school, the students are rushing home. At home, Young-ho got into a tutoring session with one of his friends, sharing a hearty serving of ramen while they discussed their family and their plans. We are now what seemed like a KTV. Students are drinking, singing, and dancing. 3 men came looking for Gite. They joined the party and are dancing with the girls now. It's obvious that Gite is uncomfortable with what's happening, but he just let it happen and just watched. Back at the gym where Young-ho trains, he kept on training while observing the ones sparring and trying to follow them. In school, we see a familiar scene where a student is being bullied by men trying to extort the money from them. Seeing this, Young-ho intercepted. We see Young-ho in action now, beating the bullies when Gite came and confronted him. The scene got pretty heated, but Gite and his gang left not long after. On the rooftop, Gite and his crew are smoking and discussing Young-ho's fighting skills. They express their desire for revenge and plot how to get back at him. After school, 2 individuals approach Young-ho and invite him to go out for drinks. They eat and chat about Gite's group while enjoying their drinks at the gym where Young-ho is training. They have a light-hearted conversation before playfully sparring in the ring, having a good time together. At the rooftop, we see Gite again with his group, but now with the seniors. His friends are being beat up because they fell short on the money that they extorted from the kids that they bully. Unlike the others, Gite got a lot more punishment than the others. Everything ended with the seniors leaving with a threat. With this, they thought of who to target next to extort money, and they thought of Juno, a disabled kid that is rich. Young-ho is on his way home when he stumbles upon the place where his mom works. He saw some men making his mom drink and touching her. Scene changed at the gym with Young-ho still training. He told the gym instructor that he wanted to do sparring. He is pitted against a freshman. They went sparring, and it seems that they are equally matched until Young-ho is brought to the corner and loses the fight. He took an uppercut and got knocked out with it. Coach talked to him about it and told him about what boxing is and that he was against a player that's playing on the national team. Outside the streets, a girl is being harassed by one of the seniors. Young-ho spotted them and just left. The man got really assertive that the girl had to defend herself. Succeeding with it, she ran after Young-ho and engaged him in a conversation. They parted ways not long after. Still on his way home, he sees his sister being assaulted by the same man she was with on the bus stop. They engaged in a fist fight. Kingmi stopped him and walked away. Now on the street, we see Gite and his company again bullying a kid and beating him up. It's their target now that they talked about asking him to find his mother's purse and take the money from it. They let him go to get the money. The kid came out with a lot of money in his hand and handed it to them. Scene shifted into a classroom where Young-ho belongs. After class, Young-ho's friend came for him, bringing him outside. Young-ho asked them about his sister's boyfriend, and they told him about him. On his way back, the same girl earlier walked with him. Gitae and his group came across them and asked the girl to come with them. Gitae kissed the girl and Young-ho left her with them. Back at the school rooftop, Gitae is giving the money he got from Chunho. Now with his group, they talked about Sankey that's been bothering Gitae. On his way home, a group of guys was waiting for Young-ho and assaulted him. They got into a fist fight 3 versus 1 until Young-ho's friend came and helped him turn the fight into an equal number. The fight continued with the attackers running away. Now back at the gym, we see Young-ho training harder than ever, doing sparring and jumping ropes, doing both boxing and MMA. He comes to the gym every day to do his training diligently. We are presented now with Young-ho and his friends at a convenience store, bantering while eating the things that they bought. Gitae and his gang came and surrounded them and were very aggressive. Young-ho stood up and just signaled the group to leave. They moved to a drinking place, and with all blood boiling, one of them asked Young-ho to just fight them. Young-ho doesn't like it, so he went home first. At the bus stop, Young-ho is again with the girl, and she dragged him to a rice cake stall. They ate together and seemed to be enjoying themselves. They stopped by somewhere and shared a kiss with the girl, confessing how she likes Young-ho. Reluctantly, Young-ho walked away, leaving the girl behind. He is now back at the place where his mother works, and he sees how terrible the man is treating her. He waited for the man outside and attacked him. Young-ho then kept on his way home in despair. Young-ho's friends and Gitae with his company are now in a duel. At first it started on a 1 versus 1 until Gitae saw one of his companies losing the fight. He stood up and attacked both of Young-ho's friends, and when he was done, the rest of the group assaulted the 2 of them. Seeing how his friends turned out and being provoked again into being afraid of Gitae, Young-ho can't answer. Left alone walking on the streets, he is troubled by the thoughts of him being asked if he is afraid of Gitae. We now see Jinsu yet again being cornered by Gitae's group. The next day, Jinsu did not go to school. The teacher told them that he was attacked and is in the hospital. Hearing this, Young-ho stood up and raced to the hospital. The others came as well. Young-ho asked the others to go out. They have decided to go and beat Gitae and his group. Now, face to face with Gitae, we can see Young-ho's hatred in his eyes. They engaged in a fist fight. We can now clearly see the fruit of Young-ho's training. Not long after, the rest of the group started fighting as well. It was full of chaos. It ended with Young-ho's group winning with Gitae and the rest of his group beaten to a pulp. Back to where the film started with the guys looking frustrated with bats and weapons in their hands, they looked for Young-ho. Jinsu, now out of the hospital, came running to tell Young-ho that the third years are looking for him. Unfazed by it, he looked to his friends and asked them to finish it. With a familiar scene that we saw at the beginning of the film, we now see Young-ho and his friends on their way to settle the score with the third year. The film ended with the screen fading to black, showing the title of the film, Bullies. That's it for today's recap. Give us a like and subscribe for more videos. See you next time.